If you're looking for a way to power up your nutrients with a plant-based protein powder, then raw vegan plant-based protein is the perfect choice. This vegan protein is packed with essential nutrients to help you stay energized and healthy. With plant-based protein powder becoming increasingly popular amongst health-conscious individuals, it's no surprise that raw vegan plant-based proteins has become a leader in the industry. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to increase your daily protein intake, this vegan protein powder can help you reach your goals. Visit rawvegan.com. Again, rawvegan.com. Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside...
It's your boy, Mr. Hit the Like Button. Sub to the page. Caesar Fantastic.
So today we have a very special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We have no other than the president of Double Diamond Sports Marketing and Advertising Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our very own Freda Robinson. How's it going today, Freda?
Hello. It's going good. How are you all doing?
We're doing great.
Good,
We're doing great.
All right. Yes.
On here, such a philanthropist, entrepreneur, business mogul, all the above, to be in the building all the way from Dallas, Texas. Yes, indeed. We're going to get into some things and we're going to talk some talk today.
Yes.
First thing we want to do is let people know what it is, the relationship that we have with you, and how we're going to do some things in November.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Freda and I and C's are business partners, and we're putting together a very special event in Houston, Texas on November the 11th.
Yes.
So, Freda, what made you put this thing together, and what gave you the focus to do such?
Well, I wanted to do something that would bring boxing together, unite boxing. Really, to me, it's about uniting. It's about networking. It's about coming together, having a moment once a year, maybe annually, that we can come together and see each other, and for a good cause. I mean, for a worthy cause. And when I thought about it, I'm like, well, is it anything happen annually for boxing, every year for boxing? And it was always, I could never find anything that I could go to, I could attend on an annual basis that's raising the cause, raising the awareness, increasing the awareness about boxing, or what's going to come the following year, or the supersede the following year. I said, I thought about it. Well, maybe I'll just, I'm working with boxing and boxers and all. Maybe I just create a fundraiser, and I have amateur boxing, an amateur boxing club, and for the pros and amateur. I was going to just create a whole scenario where we can network, we can and bring awareness together, and at the same time be able to be connected. That's kind of what I had in mind, while raising funds, while raising awareness, and while also touching bases with each other, getting an update. We get the information about each other that we need to know. We may not know what's one person gonna do the next year or the next. We may need each other for that reason. But if we don't see each other, then we really don't know what we need. Not really.
Right. So I'm gonna pass it to C. C's gonna ask you some basic questions, and I'll ask some questions behind them.
Okay.
I want to get to know who Freda is. Who is Freda Robinson? Let the people know who Freda Robinson is.
Freda Robinson is I'm a giver. I'm a doer, and I'm a giver. And I believe in serving. I believe in, I'm not the police, protect and serve. I believe serve and protect. I've worked with youth, family, businesses, etc. for 50 plus years. I've served youth. I protected youth. I have mentored youth, family, and businesses together, entrepreneurship as well. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm not just an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a thought leader. I'm a
Hmm.
think tank. I was just able to be exposed to some of the greatest mentors that I could ever think of, and that exposed me to being the lady that I am today. And I'm a very humble person. Just have to sometimes get down to business, and I do that when I need to. Other than that, I'm just a person that love people. I've always worked with people. I've always have had opportunity to serve, and I served whether it was at church, I served in the community, I served at different civic events, whether it's community, whether it's exposed with the trade show. I have been a part of so many, to be blessed to be a part of so many types of live events, and where I have actually touched the life of people because they would see me and didn't know how did I get to where I was, and I would sometimes let them know, tell them my story. So as a humble beginning, a mom, a single parent, mother of seven, six plus me. I'm number four. Mother working three jobs to take care of her children, my siblings. Um, Mother graduated in the eighth grade from in the 1940s. Then mother just said, "Hey, I want to make sure my children can do better." So I've always been involved in activities, in sports, in community, whether it be IE, whether it be political. I've been a campaign manager. I've been a campaign leader. I have done a lot of work that I'm very proud to do because now that I know that I can share my experiences with the others, and whatever they don't know, we can get together. We can learn together. I just believe in learning, and I believe learning is growing.
Yeah. Now, what got you involved in like the boxing side of things? Like, and what got you involved
What
with the
what
sport of
what got
boxing?
me involved in boxing? Number one, most people don't know that I was around boxing 50 plus years. I was not in the ring per se. I never got in the ring. I only put gloves on to take pictures with one of
Hmm.
the boxers that I used to work with years and years ago. And he was a young boxer that turned pro for a little while. But we just had a photo shoot with some gloves on. But what really got me involved in boxing, I was in the third grade, and a boxer by the name of Curtis Coast he would come to our school, and he would give donations to our school, W. Bushman Elementary School in Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, Texas, which is a very large area, a metropolitan area, urban area. And mostly was at that time mostly African American, mostly African Americans,
Hmm.
and they call it the hood. I just call it Oak Cliff. And they say Oak Cliff is my hood. I just said Oak Cliff. I'll leave it like that. But Curtis would come to our school. Long story short, he would come. He would donate money. He would come bring school supplies. He would come bring other speakers and other athletes with him. We was impressed with that because we didn't have a father, so he was the only man we could see to telling us we could be somebody. We
Hmm.
little kids, little black kids in school, we could be somebody. He would, leave money for school supplies, our little lunch money, and sometimes, we didn't have even our parents didn't even have money for lunch. We had a lunch ticket. We didn't have the lunch ticket. We couldn't eat.
Hmm.
Curtis would make that possible for us. So, and then later on, I began to, as I got older, my uncle and dad would train with him. They wasn't boxing, but they wanted to stay in shape. They wanted to stay fit. They wanted to stay healthy. And so they would go to the gym, and then sometimes they'd take me with them and let us, go there, and we would watch Curtis work with the kids, work with boxers. And I just began to grow to know that he loved people, and because his passion and love for people, I began to love and grow and know him better. And I wanted to be able to give back and do the things that he could do. And that was in the community. And he was a businessman. He worked at the bank, and he was always clean. He was always professional. He was always courteous. But when he was in the gym, he changed because he looked like he was really, really wanting to see those fighters make it, and he really had a passion for what he do, and he was a great trainer. There's a book about Curtis Stokes as well. Most people don't know. There's a whole book about his training regimen that is published. So seeing Curtis coming to our neighborhood, coming helping us through our school, getting as I got older, I got to know him better. I began to do community service and help him with his organization, the Curtis Coates Youth Foundation, Oak Cliff. Then the Curtis Coates, the boxing club, home of the champion, was just the name of the boxing club, home of the champion. I just began to know that, you know, he was involved, and then he began to involve me because I was on the bit. I started learning business and marketing and media in the seventh grade. And he would ask me, if I would sometime help him with some of the things he was doing when he was working with some of the fighters, things like checking on the hotel or checking on this or check on that or check on another coach or whatever, a trainer. I just started doing little things for him, just to do the little things that I could do as a young lady growing up, learning the business side of business, not the boxing. I was learning business, but he seen the business in me. So he discovered me. Curtis discovered me.
Wow.
Yeah, he discovered me. I didn't see none of this. I'd never seen this coming. And before he passed away, he asked me to continue to do what he told me to do. He told me to make him a promise. I came to his gym from Atlanta, Georgia. I flew in. Somebody said Curtis Coates is trying to reach you. That he was asking, do anybody know where you are? I got the message. I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I flew in and I called around. I found the number of the gym, got the number, called the gym, and I finally got his number. He said, come to the gym. Met him at the gym. He said, Freda, I want you to step outside and I want to talk to you. But I did not know what I know. I did not know. I said, Curtis, I am doing business and I travel, events and whatever I'm doing. I didn't know that. I said, I didn't know you wanted me to start working with boxers like that. He said, yeah, just try to because help the kids, help the boxers, help them become help them do what they're doing. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm cut out because I don't know enough about boxing. He said, yes, you do. You know business, then you just take it one step at a time. And that's what he told me outside the gym, home of the champion in Oak Cliff.
Nice, nice.
Wow.
Now, what role do you think boxing can play in helping our youth in these days, as far as boxers, getting more involved with the youth and as well just the sport in general?
Well, but I think about that, and I work with a lot of different athletes. Just work with a lot of different athletes. These kids look up to these fighters. They want these fighters to be boxers, to be role models. They want to know them better. They want to get closer to them. They want to make connections. They want to talk to them. They want to see them one-on-one. They want to be in the room with them. And a lot of times, if they're able to do that, they can share their story, and they may say something to them that they may not say to anybody else. They may feel comfortable talking to a fighter. They may want to be a fighter, most likely, or they may be going through something that they need to learn how to defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So what I look at, and I look at the athletes being a role model, being a mentor, being involved and touching their lives, it makes a big difference. Because listen, most of us as a culture, our father did not raise us. Our father did not stay with the family. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these young guys and young ladies as well, their father's not there. They're absentee. Their father is not in their life. And just like I explained to you about Curtis, if I hadn't had somebody to look at as a model to me, I don't believe I'll be where I am, because I didn't see him getting in no trouble. I didn't see him drinking and hanging out. I seen him doing things as a businessman. He always had a very pleasant attitude. He was always professional and kind and gentle. That rubbed off on me, because I said, well, if he can do it, then I think I can do some of the stuff he do. I can be nice. I can learn things. I can be smart. But I really believe that if boxers would become more involved, it would make a bigger impact on their career, because those young kids can grow up. Instead of be like Michael Jordan, they'll say, I want to be like that boxer. And then they'll stay in contact, and then at the same time, it's building their fans, because those boxers know people, and those young kids, they are very aware. They are on the internet. They're social savvy. They're involved with social media. They are out there, and their name associated with a boxer name probably would do a lot of more good to for a boxer because those kids they're really connected. They know it. They know digital. They know internet, and they know social media. They know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they come to me all the time like, well, they don't get a chance to see athletes come close to them and be close to them where they can actually see that's Muhammad Ali, or I'm just using a name. That's a person
Mm-hmm.
that we've seen on TV, on Showtime, on HBO, or on the Zone, or whatever. They don't hardly have opportunity. May not have opportunity even to come to the fight. I sponsored 5 young men to come to a boxing show, and we did that for UCOS, Earl Spence and Yuga. And why did I do it? Why did I pay? Why did I do it? Why did I ask, somebody to come with me to chaperone those young guys to give them experience of their life? And they
Mm-hmm.
had an experience of their life at the AT&T
Nice.
Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which holds
Nice.
100,000 people. Wow, it was about 100,000 people at that Earl Spencer Ugas fight. That stadium was packed, and I let them. I let them. I'm gonna say this is the reason why I believe it's a connection between the youth and the boxer. Because guess what? Those young men have not been the same. They had experience they never would have had not been me thinking out loud the way I was thinking. And I said to my friend, so he was he's a college football player. I asked him to accommodate me as a lady and go with me to go with the guys to take them to the fight.
Wow.
They seen a fight come together. They seen all the things. They seen everybody come in. They got a chance to go to the concession stand. They got a chance to have an experience that they had never been. I
Nice.
watched their life be really touched.
Nice.
Indeed.
November 11th, the Kings and Queens Celebrity Charity Boxing Show. What
Yes.
charity? What charity is going to be involved with this show?
Well, I have started my own charity boxing, my own charity organization years ago, and it's called Youth to Youth. Youth to Youth is 40 plus years old, either about 35 or 40 years old. 1974. I started Youth to Youth in 1974, and most people know me by Youth to Youth, which is a youth organization, and I actually would take the young students to lots of events and corporations for them to see what goes on and how it's set up and the way it's done. Isn't that unique?
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
They could actually
nice.
go. They would go to IBM. They would go to Enron. They could go to Texas Instrument, a corporation, Frito-Lay, and have a whole day at those companies just to see how those companies work. If we don't expose our children early, wait until they become 18, 19 is really too late.
Yeah,
The
it
earlier the
is.
better. We
Mhm.
think, oh no, they don't. If they learn social media, know all the song, the dance, and the words to everything, surely they can be exposed. The more they expose, the better they are.
Yeah.
The more
A lot
choices
of-
they have.
Yes,
A lot of
indeed.
kids, they know what they want to be in the future and start working towards that as children, as young children,
Yep.
as opposed to when you graduate high school and you're like, I don't know what I want to be. You know what I mean? Then you sort of plan from behind. So that's a great thing to really expose
And
people
I have
to.
I have a godson named we call him Jr. And his name is Reginald Durham, and he's a junior. We call him just Jr. He is so smart and so savvy. And I seen something. I think I have a something inside of me that helps me discover the talent in people. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it really, truthfully speaking. But his mother was talking to me. His mother's name is Sean. Sean is my administrative assistant. And she was saying, they called me G Mother for G Mama, and said he can do computer, he can do. I said, listen, get him involved in STEM. Get him involved in the engineering program and all. There's so many programs out there that we can go ahead and guide him into, because he can do some things on the computer that we can't do, that we wouldn't even understand how to do. So kids are advanced. We can't expect for them to live like we lived back in the day. Technology is totally different from what we live, and it's more available now than ever.
Uh, so, what fighters are going to be on this card?
We have a special guest fighter, Yaya McClain. We have a special guest appearance by Anthony Peterson. We have Derek Webster. We have Jamal. I'm trying to think his name. Oh, he just slipped my name. Jamal. I'll say his name in a minute. Jamal. He's out of Arkansas. We have uh, Kenyon Johnson, which is called Cornflake. That's his stage name, or his fight name, or his
Uh-huh.
AKA name. We have Montel Griffin. We also have a Russian fighter, Vital Gubin, and he's a Russian fighter. And we have Darrell Martin, and Darrell Martin. We have Chop Chop Curley, which is Demarcus Curley. His AKA is Chop Chop, and we have I think we have I think that's about I think that's a card. I think we have a card about 6 to 8 bouts on this one charity show, charity boxing show. And if I forget
Nice.
one, I don't think I forget. If I think
Sugar
with
Poo,
Sugar Poo, and I'm looking. His name is Henry. His name is Henry
Henry
Buchanan.
Buchanan. Yeah.
Henry Buchanan, Sugar Poo, and I think that covers all of it. I think that says it all.
All right. Yeah. Um. So now the tickets. How can people get tickets to the event?
Well, they can scan the flyer, and then if there's also going to be added a PayPal link on there, which make it very easy, and it goes straight to the ticket, straight to they can secure with this QR code or PayPal link.
Okay. And
We'll put the PayPal link in the description
mm,
when it's
what's your
over.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you,
For
thank you.
those that's on here that's interested in traveling to Houston, you'll be able to get the link, the PayPal link on here to purchase your tickets on the link as well. So look for that in the description section of the video um, on the YouTube, as well as I'll put it on the Facebook also.
Okay.
And if people want to get involved in your charity, just in your charity on the side, how can they do that?
They can either call me at my phone number. I could, he can put that into the inbox as well. There's also I think uh, Rashid has the email address, and I'm on internet. My website is ddsportsagency.com. And they could, that my phone number information is on there as well. And they if they want to call me, leave me a message, and I'll return the call. I'm really good about returning call and responding to those who reach out to me. I'm very good about that.
Okay. You got something else? Sweet?
Yeah, Frida, man, you've been on the phone for the past 2 weeks every day. I've talked to you more than anybody in the past 2 weeks. But it's been a wonderful journey, and we got a lot done together with
Yes,
this.
sir. Thank you.
I wouldn't ask for a better business partner to help us grow as well as you helping you grow.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we talked about boxing and how boxing can improve the issues that's going on with the violence in the major cities. And what we was discussing was how, for example, me myself, I use anger management through boxing, right?
Okay.
And through that, I've learned when I used to box as a young man, every time I got upset, I got whooped, got defeated, or got out my game plan. And I share to people how it has helped me deal with issues with men or issues with situations because it creates a form of self-discipline, right?
Yes.
And imagine being like a lot of people don't know this is not just for Houston. We're taking this show on the road. We're taking
Yes.
the show from city to city. We going from city
Yes.
to city with this thing. Explain what can be done with boxing to curb violence in the city.
Well, what one thing is, and I work with the police department in several cities. Because I work with the community affairs and also the neighborhood. The neighborhood, well, there's a department where the officers go out in the neighborhood and they serve the community. They volunteer their time by serving the community. And I believe one of the things that can be done, I'm working on a project now for December, is we have to find creative ways to reach these young people. If
Right,
we're not going to reach out to them, they're not going to reach out to us, and they're
Mm.
right,
going to continue to do. They're not going to know what we can do, and they won't know. We won't know what they want. We got to find out. We got to have this conversation, like you said. And a lot of these young people, and I know a lot of them, they have a lot of things going on that they just don't understand how to go about, how to deal with it, how to manage this, how to control themselves, how to carry themselves.
right,
And if they're not around us and listening to us and working with us and being exposed to us and we being their examples, then they're gonna be influenced by somebody else. They're doing something totally different. You
right,
know what I mean? On the street doing something totally different, and we'll get them involved in other activities that's not going to be good. And so I believe that you know the anger that the disappointments that they have, we don't know. Sometimes it comes from home. Sometimes it comes from school. When I was a young girl in school, it was years after I think I was like about maybe like in the like sixth grade. They called me Olive Oil because I was real thin.
uh-huh,
And then they started bullying me because they was bigger than I was, and I was a little thin girl, skinny girl.
right,
And if I had not been around people who told me I was okay, you okay, let us know what's going on, talk to us, come to us. If somebody bother you, say something. My mother would tell us that. And I heard all that from all of the mentors I was around, the teachers I had. If I hadn't had reinforcement, I probably would have been I wouldn't I would may not know what to do when they was bullying me, and they was trying to bother me in school, and I wasn't even bothering them.
right,
But a lot of time, kids do. They keep a lot to themselves. They introvert. They keep a lot to themselves, and they don't want to open up and talk to everybody. And when we do let them talk, we don't want to criticize them and tell them they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're saying, and whatever. That's not a good way to be. The best way to be is let them give them an opportunity to come to us, and when they open up and let us know what's going on, then we talk about maybe how we can find some type of solution to the problem. Because I just seen a situation the other day where some young guys were fighting. It was about 12, 13, 14 of them. And I was sitting there, I could have did nothing, but I chose to do something. I went in the store, said somebody's out there, somebody help these young people so they can stop doing what they're doing so they won't hurt each other.
right,
See, I could have done, see, but I think as adults, we can become a little bit more proactive and show a little bit more concern. I think that'll help out a lot because they want attention and they want to be heard. And our young people have a voice.
right,
I am a CEO, a chief executive officer of a real organization.
right.
And when you're dealing with them, they're telling you they'll let you know what they need help with. But are we going to be willing to go out our way to make it happen? That's the question.
Right. See, I get a lot of people, always talk about the youth, right? And
Right?
and they talk about it, but they don't lead by the examples of which they speak upon, right?
Mm-mm.
And we
Yeah,
have
that's
we
true.
have to come to this conclusion of a lot of these issues that's taking place within our community started from the neglect that we put in place by the actions that we had in our generation and the generation before us, right?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
generation before us was distracted. The generation that we were in were distracted. Now we have a problem with two distracted generations. So the third generation is now called the ones that don't go by the rules. We stopped going by the rules when we was in our generation because we went against the rules of protecting the people. We were more concerned about our own pockets, right?
Yes.
So my friend that lived next door to me had no issues with serving crack to one of my family members. That's selfishness. So the selfishness came from the neglect from the generation before that generation.
So
true. What we gonna do to fix this? We're gonna have to look in the mirror as people and have self-accountabilities for the actions we created. Crack created distractions for the grandmother. The daughter was neglected from the grandmother, so she didn't learn how to be a mother because her mother was running the streets.
Yes.
So guess what? That mother had to take care of that boy. Now that boy learned how to think like a woman, frustrated woman. We got a bunch of frustrated thinking men that think like women, frustrated in our community. And that's what the problem is amongst us all. We keep saying, I can't save them. Of course you can't save them. You neglected them. But you can't save them by action. You have to show your change. They don't see the adults change. They don't see the adults change. They see us talk about change, but they don't see us change. You got these trainers around here bickering and fussing up in here in our community. Worrying about what the kids need. They weren't about what they need.
Yes, selfishness. It's selfish.
Every day in Washington, D.C. because the trainers are busy fussing and fighting with each other.
Yes, that's true. That's true. It's all true.
Guess what? They've been raised by those same frustrated women. Or they bring that to this boxing community, to the football, the Pop Warner footballs and everything else. And we wonder why the kids don't pay us no mind because they hear the same bickering with their mothers at home.
Every day, it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. I know a coach that was actually killed murdered in front of Pee Wee football, his Pee Wee football team. Wow. One of the children. This is real. This is Dallas, Texas. One of the children. He was telling the coach was making corrections as they played the game and et cetera, et cetera. And the parent got frustrated, left, came back, left, in my head, left, came all the way back to the game while the game was being. These are little boys. He was so frustrated. He was so angry. He was so embarrassed. He shot and killed the coach in front of the family, friends, and the children.
That's a shame.
We talk about Dallas, Texas. We talk about a Pee Wee football team.
That's crazy.
We talk about a community football team. And right there in front of all of them children, he took that man's life. That man dropped to the ground right in front of all. Imagine trauma and all of that. And most of those parents probably never took those children to counseling to get no help. Always we gonna go cry now, cry later. Don't worry about it. That's trauma. And that trauma gonna follow them a very long time. Because you don't deal with trauma gonna deal with you. You don't deal with frustration, it's gonna deal with you. You don't deal with anger, it's gonna deal with you. It's gonna come out in all these other areas in your life. It's gonna most likely cost you. It can cost you a lifetime in a penal institution. That means prison system, jail system, juvenile, correction.
Yeah.
And you're right. And a lot of the females, they're saying, let me say something. I want to make this really, really clear. A woman cannot teach a man how to be a man.
Come on now.
A woman not teach a boy how to be a boy.
Come on now.
Watch out. We can be a good example as a mother, as a female leader about and doing the best we can. But a woman cannot teach a man or a boy how to be a man or a boy.
That's facts.
That's just right there. Leave it like that. It's no way. It's no way.
And you know, Freda, I have always came to this conclusion. if you're sitting around watching your mother jealous of what someone else has and gets on the phone with her girlfriend, right?
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
gets on the telephone with her girlfriend and she's hearing her girlfriend talk about what Susan got down the street. These men, these boys become men, have those same jealous tendencies because they hear their mother on the phone
Oh,
gossiping
gossiping.
about the same thing
Yeah, that's
you
right.
do. But
That's
the
true.
difference is they get jealous so they shoot somebody because they got a new pair of shoes on their feet. Because they
Right.
saw their mother every day hating on Susan for her the shoes she had on her feet. Or what
Yeah,
Susan
because
don't what Johnny don't have.
and,
They
and
hear it
and
all.
they listen and they're listening to you while you
That's right.
talking. You know that let's go back a little bit. Look back, a little bit back. Let's go back to one step back. Do you know my mother would not let us be in the living room when
Right.
adults come?
Yeah.
You didn't sit there and eat with her, and you didn't run. You wasn't her friend. You was not my mother's friend. You
Exactly.
are her daughter. When we would have company on Sundays and Saturdays, my mother was really a really quiet person, very quiet person. And when her guests would come, you know what we would do? We would leave.
Mhm.
Right.
She didn't have to tell us that. We didn't
That's
sit there
right.
here and talk. We didn't try to find out what they were talking about. We was
Yeah.
not involved, and we was not invited in the presence of elders when
Adults.
they are when they're having conversation and when they're there to enjoy each other's company.
That's
We was
right.
not allowed to sit there and listen. And you know what? My mother didn't talk around her children about her friends and all that. She kept that some things, a lot of that, away from her children, and that's why her children is like it. But we are now. We didn't hear our mother do all that.
Hmm.
So Frida, how can they
Yes.
we for those that's potential sponsors or people that want to donate to this cause that we have on November the 11th? How can they donate or send you in the direction of future sponsors? What can they do? How can they contact you? Can you give them your information so they can reach out for that?
Yes, I'll give you my phone number. My phone number is 832-989-4589. Area code 832-989-4589. And what they can do is call me, leave me a message, and I will return their call. Like I said, I'm really good about returning calls because that's the professional thing to do when
Yeah,
you get calls, is to return the calls and acknowledge the call and let them know I appreciate them calling me to help us do anything. Because we can touch one person's life, one young person's life, that's a whole world we're saving.
that's right.
One person's life is a whole world we can save.
Yes,
We can
indeed.
say not only impact their world, we can impact their world to come. Their friends, 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 and friends and friends and friends. And those are worlds. Every generation is a world. They say a different world. So if they would call me and let me know, we do need sponsors, we do need partners, we do we do want to have a successful event, and we raising awareness, we're raising funds, and we're doing it for a good cause. Because if we don't invest in our own, we cannot sit around and let everybody else tell us why we don't work together, why we can't do this together.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? It's just we just got to get rid of the excuses. You guys, it's just time out. Making up all these excuses why we can't. They're gonna be bad. They ain't gonna make it. They're not good, or whatever. When we leave these excuses out and focus on what the real solution can be, we're
Yeah.
gonna be better off as a people. And then what it also tell our kids that we care about them. This is our culture. We care about them. We want to see them make it. We want to see them be successful at everything they do, and we're concerned about them.
Yeah.
And it's genuine. It's not fake. It's real.
Right. So Frida, what can we expect on November the 11th? What for this wonderful card that's been put together? What can we expect?
I expect a lot of excitement, a lot of networking, and a lot of connection. We are coming to connect. We're coming to unite, be unified, and really, for the most part, is let these young people know that we care. We are concerned. We care. If it's nothing else to show, them that we care about them. We care about them being able to make it to the qualifier, to the competition, and we care about them doing what they do. We care about them not getting on the street. We care about them not picking up that gun and going in that classroom and shoot their friend or their classmate in the back as you run down the hallway.
Exactly.
We care about them not wanting to hurt each other, harm each other, rather than show love and support to each other. We do care.
Yes, indeed. So we got something in the future too. We're gonna be doing this around the country, right? We're gonna go from different locations as well. DC is on
Yes.
the list. So for those that's tuning in, because most of our peoples is up here in the DC DMV area, we got something in store for DC. Just look out, y'all. We can't really get into that right now, but something's in store too for DC. We going to Houston. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna put this thing, take it to another level. Freda, I thank you for the opportunity and coming
Thank
on here
you.
with
Thank
us.
both of y'all. Yes,
And
sir.
it's been a fresh fresh breath of air.
Yes.
Being able to build with you, right? To
Thank you.
build to build a safe haven of some sort for the future. And and
Yes.
and this is the start. Somebody got to start somewhere.
Yes.
I thank you for getting involved.
Thank you all.
This
Both
has
of
been
y'all.
my calling since I was a child, since I was
Oh,
6 years
wow.
old.
Yes.
I went with my father. We went to the South African embassy and we protest against apartheid. And so, and I had dealings with different black organizations as a young man during my boxing career, which I was going through a conflicting of interest, which one I was going to pick because I was concerned about my people, and it's always been my calling to help our people become in a better situation. So by you coming to us,
Yes.
giving us this opportunity to be part of you and be your partner,
Thank you all.
I,
Thank you.
it was a no-brainer for us. It was a no-brainer for
Thank
us.
you.
As well as
Thank
see
you.
the same way. That's my partner right there for many years. So
Thank you both of y'all. I appreciate it. And I want to say, it's good that we can see, we can be the start of a whole new energy. I call it sun energy. We can do this. Yes, we can. I think Obama said that we can do this. Yes, we can. And we can if we're doing what we're doing, it's gonna catch on. Other people gonna learn about what we're doing. They're gonna join in, and they call in and they support. They're gonna support you all. They're gonna support what your show is. And my energy is to be there for you all, help you all, help your company grow, help your business grow, and not just be on one end of it, just on the receiving side of it. I want to be on the side of the giving side.
right,
I want to be able. I want to be a contributor. I don't want to just be on the look, sitting by looking and waiting on the parade to pass me by. I want to be in the parade so I can participate in what you all are doing. And I appreciate you all giving me a chance to work with me because this has been a lifelong dream. I want to do more, but I can only do so much by myself. I'll try to do a lot, but then I know I can't do it all. So, I appreciate y'all giving me this platform to come on and talk and just have a good conversation. I love to have good conversation because it means something to talk to people when you're on the same page and you're on the same page and you want to go somewhere with it and you all want to go somewhere. You all are going places and I like it because you all want to go places and reach the people and say more and be able to, let the people know we like what we do, but we want to be able to reach those who we can reach.
yes, indeed. Your future event in Dallas, are you able to discuss that event that's coming up
Oh
in Dallas?
yes, oh yes. It is an
Okay.
all male summit. It's an all male summit. I'm gonna be proactive until the time I leave this world. I'm gonna be doing what I do to reach these young people at all costs. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be the new Malcolm X by any means necessary.
There we go.
Now I done put it out there.
That's right.
I
That's
want
right.
to be able to reach these young people and touch their life, impact their life, and tell them the story that you all tell them the story. These stories that you're saying, like you were saying a second ago, Rashid, and then Mr. Shawn asked the question. These are what these young people want to hear. They want to hear genuine stories from genuine people.
Yes, indeed.
Man, they can find craziness wherever, but to meet for somebody really to come from your heart and speak from your heart about your background and how you grew up with your dad and how I met Curtis Coates and my father didn't take care of me. These are real stories. It's nothing fake about what we're saying. It's nothing. It's real.
Yes, indeed.
So my thing is, I created a summit, and I'm a producer. I created an all male summit. So that's a summit means summon. Summon. The summit means to come forth. A summit is enlightenment. A summit is empowerment. A summit is when you come together. There's help. There's support. There's knowledge. There's power. And then therefore they're empowered. We got to empower our young people, especially our young African American men.
Yes,
There
indeed.
is hope. Life ain't over. I mean, you all made it. You look what you're doing. And if they see what you're doing, you all can guide them to do well. Man, you want to do a podcast, you want to do a TV show, let us come and show you how.
Yeah.
And it's better for us to teach them that than to get a gun. And a lot of our young people are dying with this new drug called fentanyl.
Yeah, that's thing vicious.
It's really bad. One pill can take you out, and you can never live again.
Yes, indeed.
So on December the 7th, we will be at a university here in Dallas, and it's University of North Texas, Dallas campus, and it's a brand new university. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna invite young men from all over the city of Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, the different cities all around surrounding metropolitan areas to come to convene summit, come together so they can get the help they need, so they can let you all know what they need, and then we can address those needs.
Yes,
I have police officers coming. I have athletes coming. I have even some actors coming. They're gonna talk with them about the acting business and the actors guilds. Athletes coming. Boxers have been invited. And I'm gonna have some professional businessmen to come, and it's gonna be a panelist of professionals that will present to these young people a better way. There are, they may not know everything to do, but if they see you all doing it and you're right there, they can at least connect to you and find out what to do.
And I look forward to that.
That's December the 7th.
I'll definitely be there in the building. I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Well, I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, any questions you got left, C's?
We good, bro.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
We'll leave the link in the description section, and please, for those from the DC DMV area, we have like 3 or 4 hometown fighters on this card. So it would be great to be a part of this, to show up and support these legends of ours. We have International Boxing Hall of Famer Mark Two Shop Johnson, who will be a commentator. Anthony Peterson, a commentator. We got
Troy Weaver.
Troy Weaver.
The triplets from California.
From Cali.
The Weaver brothers. They call them the Weaver brothers. They actors, movie stars, and boxers.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
And with my guy Sugar Poo and
Sugar Poo.
Man, it's so many people on it. We got
Montel Griffin.
We got a stack card. This card damn near better than
Derek Webster. You got Derek Webster. We got Darrell Martin.
We got people on this card. It's more people that may put on a better show than a lot of these pro activities. So show up in the
I think it's gonna be a lot better than some of these pro shows, because I've attended some of these pro shows and they start slow and they end slow. They start slow and they end slow. They start slow and they end slow.
But this, I think I can motivate a lot of people from this area to show up in this. Y'all remember the Golden Gloves back in 1995 and 85 and 88, 86 and all that? These same fighters is on this card. So come on out and support them. Come on out and support them. Houston.
I want to say one thing before you get out. I'm expecting Texas to show up and show out. Yes, I'm in Texas. I'm expecting Texas to represent. They call represent their hood. Yeah. I want y'all to come out and show love and show respect to these legends. These fighters are legends.
Yeah.
They are future legends. Some of them already. Mark, Too Sharp Johnson. This man is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, indeed.
These are Hall of Fame. These is prize. These are what you call prize fighters. These are real fighters that are real fighters. That some is retired, and some are still active. I want Texas to come out in a big way. Fort Worth, I'm calling you out. Dallas, I'm calling you out. Houston, Conroe, Rose Sharon,
Yes,
whether it be Garland, whether it be Sugar Land, Pearl Land,
okay.
whether it be Missouri City, I can go on and on. I want you all to come out and show love and show respect and honor, because we show honor that we get honor. We show honor, we get it. You show respect, you get respect.
Yes,
So I really want y'all to come out and give to the cause, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the proceeds, we're gonna get on the road, we're gonna reach out, we're gonna try to reach as many young people and touch as many young people's lives as we can through the area of sports, especially in boxing,
yes,
because
indeed.
we feel like boxing can be an anger management program by itself.
It is. We talked about that earlier. Yes, indeed. Freda. Yes, indeed.
And the one fighter that I wanted to say his name is Jamal Wood. Jamal Wood is from Little Rock, Arkansas,
Yeah.
and he is a true fighter. And he's gonna be on the card as well. And he's coming from Arkansas. And when Jamal Woods, he's a heavyweight. When he come to anything, he bring the heat. He bring fans. He brings supporters. They support him. And I've seen him. I've seen him on some fight card. And he is a exciting heavyweight fighter. Exciting.
Yes, indeed.
So we gonna be there. Mr. Sean will be there. We all will be there. Like I said, the Weaver brothers, they're coming out of California. They coming to support, and I thank everybody, you, Mr. Sean, and all y'all that came together with me to help me to make it a reality. And it's like a dream come true to me, because it gives me hope that there is somebody who care about the young people the way I do.
Yeah.
I know I'm not alone, but I really appreciate just having that support and having that backing. A true man, that's men that can hold it down.
Yes, indeed.
And don't mind being accountable. Don't mind keeping their word. Don't mind doing what they say they do. And know that they love what they do. What I love about you guys love what you do. When I first seen your show, maybe 2 years ago, I just kept looking like, man, they too far away. I don't know if they'll come this far. I don't know if they'll even want to come to the South or come, they travel or come. But I just kept looking. I said, well, one day I'm just going to make up my mind and reach out. And it took forever for this man to return my call. It was just almost, Mr. Sherman, talk about it before I get off. It was almost, let me straighten my eyeglasses out, because I like my glasses to be kind of correct. And I want to look right into the screen. Yeah. My eyes are not that big, so I'm just gonna get that eye. They call it that eye. But that eyebrow go up there. Miss Freda, you serious? It took me forever.
I've seen you in the inboxes. I just been ignoring them. I didn't know.
I know you did. I didn't care what. I didn't make no difference. I said I gotta talk to them, because we need our kids healthy. We need our kids exposed to your product. We need our kids exposed to that diet, that regimen. We need our families exposed to the best. Because McDonald's is not going to get us where we need to be if we eat McDonald's. If our kids eat McDonald's every day, they won't be strong. Their bodies won't be strong, and they won't be able to last as long as they need to last.
Facts.
So thank you for ignoring me when you did. But finally, I just kept sending messages, Mr. Sean. He didn't go say nothing. I kept on sending a message. I said, I don't know what he think he is, but every time he look at that inbox, I'm gonna say, how you doing? Or either hello. I love to say hello. I said hello. I know he thought I was crazy. I said, I know this man see my message. I said, he just straight up being prejudiced. He being like that because I'm a lady. I did.
No, but
I got so upset. One time I said, now, he knew I want to be a part of that health and what they talking about and being healthy and boxers being healthy and doing all the things they do. I said, they can't be doing it by themselves.
Right, right. You know what's crazy? When I did respond, it was something in me said, respond. This lady because you inboxed me on my other Facebook page. It was my
I sure did. It didn't make no difference.
And then when I
You know, see now, Mr. Shaw, he doing an open confession. His name, he done changed his name from Mr. Rashid to Usher. These are my confessions. This, he making a confession. And I said, I ain't gonna give up. Whenever I see his name, I send a message.
right,
And whenever I see that product, that's him.
yeah,
I sent another message. And I bet that man think I'm crazy. I said, oh God, let me stop. Let me stop. Then I thought about we need to get these kids in front of entrepreneurs, businessmen on the air, talking, going out, doing things, active in his own life. I said, wow, I wonder if he gonna think I'm crazy.
no,
Then I thought about just wait.
it came in perfectly. Immediately I had our research team, do research on you and everything. We found out about you. We knew you was the real deal. We jumped in on
Thank
it.
you.
We got in and we immediately, as I called you, it went from first gear to sixth gear instantly.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
here, and it was, we get people talk like that here, but they not walking like that. We
Mhm.
Yeah.
got some people that's on the mission, like got people like different people all over the community that's doing their thing. But
Mm.
it's nothing like banding together with someone from another location, and we all have the same. We get to see that we're not just the only ones suffering in our city.
Mhm.
It's not just a
Yes. Yes.
DP thing that the violence is taking place in. It's not
Yes.
just a
Yes.
Dallas thing. It's not just an LA
No. No.
thing.
It's everywhere.
We got a problem as a
Everywhere.
worldwide and nationwide. It's
Epidemic.
epidemic rooted from the distractions, as I mentioned before, within the grandmothers and the grandfathers who got caught up in that atomic bomb that dropped into our communities, which is called crack cocaine.
Yes. That's
That
right.
crack cocaine did not only destroy the mother and father, but they had sons that wasn't getting food in their refrigerator, right? The food was not
Right.
coming in their refrigerator, so guess what they did? They went and
Go
stole
get
that
it.
Right.
same crack cocaine, that same atomic bomb. They took their pieces off of it and took their pieces and chopped it up in the kitchen and bagged it up in the dimes and 20s and 8 balls and 62s and 31s and all that stuff, right? And A for keys. I know the terminology, right?
Oh yeah.
So they took that same stuff to feed themselves, and then they wanted new shoes, wanted to look good, wanted to buy the new cars, and so forth, and didn't hesitate without no hesitation to hurt your mother to get what they needed to get. It's not
Yes,
all.
indeed.
It's all by design from someone else that comes from a greater source, not a greater, evil source. Let me rephrase that: an evil source put that in place,
Yes.
right? And that
Yes.
evil force that put that in place also put in place to make your sons a slave again and your daughters
Yes.
a slave again. If y'all notice,
Yes.
pay attention, they already got us brothers, right? They already got us broke down, damn near. Look what they going
Hmm.
for. Now they're going for the women.
Yeah.
You watch Zeus TV? Who watches Zeus TV or ever saw Zeus TV? Zeus TV is the smut of the world with all
It's
sisters sitting on there fighting and fussing and
the lowest. The lowest of the lowest.
the girl, what's the
The
girl
lowest
name?
of the lowest.
Red or whatever her name is, that got her brainwashing the daughter. Could be possibly trying to brainwash my daughter's mind with being the freak
Yes.
running the streets and being out here promiscuous,
Yes.
destroying herself, not caring about the kids, saying we don't need niggas and we don't need children, right?
Yes.
We don't. I had this many abortions and things of that nature. They are going for the kill once they get the black woman. They're going for the kill. They already
Yes. Yes.
they're going for the kill now. So we definitely
Right.
got to combat this thing. I'm all
Yeah.
in. I'm all in now. We got to
Yeah.
combat.
It's back to the basics. Back to the basics. Back to doing what we do. We shared. We grow together. We work together. We're a community. We're a family. We are family. And when we get back to those, just get back to the basic of respect, being respectful, being walking in dignity, walking in friendship, walking in and being social.
Right.
You can walk past these. You can walk past. I see it all the time. People walk past you, won't even speak. I'm not used to walking past you and don't speak. I'm going to speak to you and say, hello, how you doing, sir? I love it because they look at me, I look at them, and I can't wait to get closer so I can speak to them. How
Right.
you doing? Yes, ma'am. I still say yes, ma'am, and I'm a full grown adult. Yes,
Right.
ma'am. I said it today 3 or 4 times at the grocery store. Yes, ma'am. How you doing, sir? And then when the clerk come to, I go approach the clerk, and she begins, how you doing? I speak to her. It's just coming back to the basics, like you said, coming back to the roots of
Right.
where we are and what, like you said earlier, what we were trained to do. We weren't
Right.
trained to be barbaric and just straight out. We just gonna be criminals, and that's all we know. We're not gonna do anything with our life. We're just gonna sit around and complain about everything. No, we need to be about it. We don't need to complain about it. We need to be about it.
There we go.
We need to be about taking care of our own. And God bless the child that got his own.
Right.
And we can't help our own. This is our culture. We set the stage for everybody else.
That's right.
Every culture follow us.
Follow us
Every
and
culture
all.
wanna be like us.
Come on
And
now.
we make every culture very well off, well to do.
Come on now. We
Uh
talking
oh.
today. We speaking
Okay,
the truth.
that is, and when we speak out and speak out about certain matters or certain situations, they shut you down, and
Yeah.
they send you to their school and teach you what not to say, what to say, and what you ain't gonna say. If you're gonna get our money, you're not gonna say this or that, or either we're gonna shut your career down and we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I choose the independent route to stay self-sufficient. That's the key to this thing. Self-sufficient keeps you able to be free and be you.
Right. And let me say something. When my mother, when I was a young girl, you guys, and these are all true. They can be verified. Anybody know can say this. My mother was on welfare. My mother, one day she called home. My mother working 3 jobs. She called home, say, clean up. We always kept the house clean because she told us how to clean up.
Mhm.
And we was latch kids. We would have to stay in the house because my mother was at work all the time. Stay in the house and lock the door. It's called latch kid, latch kid, kids.
Right.
That means we behind the door and the door is locked. Until somebody come through the door, we couldn't control that. But my
Right.
mother said, I'm coming home, clean up, and because it's some people coming over, and I got some people coming over, so we didn't know the people. Long story short, we just didn't know that. That's my mama business, that's grown folk business. That's
Right.
what grown people do. We just obey them. We obeyed our parents.
Right.
And when she got home, she said, "Get all the food out the pantry and hide it under the bed."
Wow.
We didn't know what that mean because she would always tell us where to put things. Everything was where she wanted it to be. She said, "Get all the food out and put it under the bed and pull the sheet and pull the cover down where you can't see what's under the bed, and push the canned food up in the middle of the bed where if it passed by, that they can't tell it's under there."
Wow.
You know what we were doing? We were hiding name brand food by a store by the name of Safeway under the bed. Every food that had a label of any color, we had to hide it up underneath the bed, pour the bedspread down so they would not see no food in our pantry with a name brand to it. Del Monte, Green Giant, we could not. They could, and we didn't understand that. And she told us later that if they seen any food or found any male clothes, male clothes, male adult clothes, teenage male or look like a man of adult male clothes, they would take her off welfare and we would have no food.
Wow. That's great.
I put the food up under the bed while my mother told us to get the food, hurry up and get the food and put the food away so that welfare workers social workers would not see any name brand food. And that means the food that they wanted to see is the food that was in the white label with the black writing.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they told my mother that if my father ever come, if they ever catch him in the house, if they ever see anything that he owned, if they ever see his shoes, they would even Mr. Sean and Mr. Rashid, they would even go in our closet to see what clothes was in our closet to
Mm,
see if my mother had any man clothes, male clothes in our house.
mm,
Wow. If
We
if
talking about Texas.
if you
And
don't,
that way, they didn't want the men to be there. They didn't want the men to be in the home. They didn't
right,
want the men to be the fathers and do the things that fathers do. They didn't want us to experience the father that we need to experience. They deprived us of the father that we should have. And our daddies could not come and live with us because if we was on welfare, they would not let the men come and live with us, or they'll take our parents off of welfare.
wow. That's all
That
by
means
design.
yeah.
cheese, government butter, government milk, government raisins. It was just a very big powdered milk, powdered eggs. I
Yeah,
know because that's where I come from. That's why I say I come from humble beginnings.
right,
And I'm gonna serve and do what I can do, but I know what it means to for them to tell you that that man can't come around. If he come around, we're gonna cut everything off. We ain't gonna give you nothing, and you and your chaps. They didn't call us children; they
right.
call us chaps. You and your chaps gonna starve.
Wow.
Mm,
Now you Frida, you just basically laid out how this thing took place all over the country. That was the beginning of the destruction of the family right there. Once
That's
they
right.
stopped that, that was this destruction of the family structure right there. When woman was like, I don't need a man. The government's telling me I don't need him because they're gonna take.
They told black women that they shamed black women. They shamed us about how our bodies were made, big hair, big body, big mouth,
Mm-hmm.
large lips,
Yeah.
large eyes,
Yep.
big teeth.
Yep.
mm,
It was a lot of shaming, and if you had a baby out of not being married, you was shamed. You was considered low. You was considered worthless because you had a child that the father's not there. It was a whole. It was systemic and it was systematic,
Yes,
and it
indeed.
still exists.
Facts.
They would tell you if you was get pregnant, go get rid of that chap, get rid of that chap, get rid of that chap abortion, get rid of it.
Yep.
Because we're not gonna take care of all of these kids, all of these chaps that these black men is leaving on y'all.
Right.
So this is programming. We talk about programming.
There we go.
This is things that my mother still deal with today
Right.
because she was made shame to have children, and our father was not there. She was made shame to be a black woman, and then trying to take care of family and trying to get her education and do the best she could. And she never felt good enough. She never felt really, really good enough. Even to this day, still feel that she still wish she could do more. And she's 86 and still want to do more.
Wow.
She still feel like she can do more. And we say, well, mama, you did a good job to get us here. We here. She still feel like that she never had a chance to do more for
Right.
her children.
Right.
And we talk about three jobs.
Wow. Whew.
You know what she told me the other day, Mr. Sean and Mr. Shai, Mr. Shai, Rashawn, but she said to me, she said, Frida, she worked 22 hours, less than 2 hours for working 24 hours a day
Mm.
for years just to get my sister through, so my sister could go to college.
Mm.
22 hours? So that means she's working 24 hours, almost 24 hours a day.
Mm.
That means she was gone day and night, and she would be so exhausted. She would sit in the sofa. She couldn't even take off her nursing shoes. Nursing shoes.
mm,
She couldn't even
mm,
unlace her shoes. We would unlace her shoes, roll down her knee-high stockings, which was white. We always remember
mm.
white. We would take her shoes, white shoes. We'd get white polish and polish her shoes. Rinse her stockings out, her knee highs out. We would wash her uniform. We would press her uniform. Everything was brand new when she would wake up the next day because she trained her girls to do this.
Wow.
Nice. Mm,
That's the story and this is what I'm saying. Like, imagine that's what I was talking about when I was
Yeah.
mentioning about how they're targeting the women. That's strength.
Yes.
Right. The black woman has been the backbone for us since slavery because they broke the
Yes.
black man down during slavery, during the days of tar and feather and taking the black man and putting them amongst the people doing and make an example out of the strong black man.
Yes.
Black
Yes.
woman had to be like
Heartbreaking.
the black, and guess who they used to see it first? They used the mother. The mother
Yes.
saw the torture first, so she could be afraid to teach her child. They understood
Yes.
that the black woman is, or any
Yeah.
woman, is the first teacher of a child.
Yes. Yes.
So when you teach the woman to fear, then who she's going to teach the child to fear.
Right.
So now what they're doing is they're taking the black woman and they're destroying her mind like they destroyed the black man's mind in 1986. Matter of fact, we go back to heroin. We're gonna go before crack. We're gonna go to heroin. So
Oh
they destroyed
wow.
the black man's mind in the 60s. That's when they started. That's when the war
Right.
started.
Right.
And then now in the 21st century, they're going for the ones that kept us intact since 1619.
Yes.
Black woman. They
Yes.
going after our cream in the crop. Mother,
Yep. Cream of the
mother
crop.
of civilization.
Mother of the earth. Mother
Mother
Earth.
of the earth. Goddess of the universe.
Yes.
That's what we're going after. But
Yes.
Freda, you know what? You can go on.
It is true. I mean, what you're saying is true. I've seen a lot of it, and I can say truthfully, I've seen a lot of it. And I'm telling you, my mother just told me 2 weeks ago she worked 22 hours a whole lot of months.
Wow.
22 hours. I know some days we didn't see her till she was coming back again. We're like, we'd go to school and she would be missing, and we come home and lock up. We get our dinner, we cook our dinner, and then we go to sleep. Then she come in sometime between the time. Then we get up, she gone again. 11 to 7, 3 to 11, 11 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. Is that not medical? That's medical. That's those are shifts that you use when you work for a hospital or a medical institution. Come on now.
Oh, that's rough.
But she did what she had to do, and she's 86, and she'll be 87 in November. And I just seen her today. I'm like, God, thank you that she was a strong woman to do what she did. And she never did blame my father and all of that. But let me tell you something. There was program that, you know, you don't need to have these kids. You better not have no more kids. You better, we catch them around, we're going to do this to you. It was always a threat. It was always a threat on her life.
Wow, that's rough. Rough.
See, most people don't want to tell y'all to say this and be open about it. They want to hide it, sweep it under the rug, and make it look like it is what it is. Yeah, it ain't always what it looked like.
Right.
And right to this day, she's still bothered with that. Did you know I used to clean houses with her? I used to clean houses with my mother, and I cried at a house. It was so big. It was so many bathrooms to clean up. She made me go clean them up. That's your job, to clean up the house. I didn't want to. I cried. I knelt down beside the toilet, and I just cried and I wept. She came and she said, "Let me tell you something. If you don't help me, I don't have nobody else."
Wow.
What would you telling your child? If I don't help you, if I don't help her clean up that big house is owned by the rich Jewish family that she worked for. If I don't help her clean the house up, we won't have no income. We won't have nothing. We won't have no money. We won't have anything.
Wow. That's a story of your triumph. That's the story of your drive, your why.
Yeah.
This explains your why through why you move the way you move.
Yes.
That's the thing, you know. Me and C's as a man of we are of personal development, new thoughts, right? And those new thoughts talk about our why. Why do we? You got to make your why greater than your excuse. Your mother made her why greater than her excuse for y'all to feed you. You are now taking that same spirit from your mother, and it's for the youth. You know, it's you made your cause become selfless.
Yeah.
Selfless. Your intention is your why is to make sure our people have a better outcome than the generations before us, and the ones before them and them had. So,
Yes.
Freda, we could go on all day. You know we can. I was an honor and a pleasure to have you on here. I look forward to this journey that we're about to put in place. We're gonna take
Yes. Thank you.
across the country, and we're gonna save lives. That's our only
Yes.
mission, is to save lives.
And we're gonna add the Hungry Jack biscuit one layer at a time.
There we go. There it is. I say that all the time too. That's just thing. Ladies and gentlemen, special guest today, president of DD Sports Agency, Miss Freda Robinson. The second win.
Thank you, sir.
The second win, boxing media. Peace.
Peace.
If you're looking for a way to power up your nutrients with a plant-based protein powder, then raw vegan plant-based protein is the perfect choice. This vegan protein is packed with essential nutrients to help you stay energized and healthy. With plant-based protein powder becoming increasingly popular amongst health-conscious individuals, it's no surprise that raw vegan plant-based proteins has become a leader in the industry. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to increase your daily protein intake, this vegan protein powder can help you reach your goals. Visit rawvegan.com. Again, rawvegan.com.